like us, we heavily concentrate our efforts in those large, concentrated markets, whether they're in the big mature markets such as the US, Germany, UK, or some of the highly growing emerging markets such as China, Brazil, India and Russia. I see the move to more alternatives as a much more flexible way of being able to manage the sales and marketing mix in many of these markets. For Ceuta, I think that's a great opportunity. I think they're well placed in many parts of the world. They offer a very good flexible service and have a certain critical size that helps players like us to come to a one-stop shop, if you like, in order to find the best solution for our sales and marketing needs.
When we look at outsourcing, what we're looking for is building a long-term partnership with that company. And it's very important for us. It's not just about driving costs out of our business, it's about how we can develop the business going forwards. And we realise that in certain areas that external companies are going to have the skill set that we don't have internally. So we're looking all the time for a company that will add value to our business. And that's what we found with Ceuta, that they can add value to what we do.
I think the easy thing is to think of Ceuta as a cost-saving exercise, and that would be foolhardy, because what it really gives you is added value. It not only builds your presence in markets you don't have access to, it builds your brand value. It builds confidence around the world in your product, and it helps almost to extend your marketing in areas where you wouldn't be normally and you don't have access to. If you're thinking about outsourcing a product that you have currently in a local market, you couldn't do better than to think about the Ceuta International Group. You get expertise, marketing experience, and a team to work alongside that feels like an in-house team, not an external team, and I think that's one of the biggest benefits of working with Ceuta.
In terms of outsourcing, I think it's an interesting area for large companies like Procter & Gamble and many of our peer organisations, especially as we look at some of the non-core products, some of the big opportunities that may exist in generating, reviving the interest of some of the small brands, and particularly as we look at entering new markets.
The Ceuta International Alliance has provided great benefit to Cleanova. Most importantly, it has allowed this incredible speed and penetration of so many markets simultaneously, which would just not have been possible without this international network being there helping us succeed.
I would say that international expansion is a really risky business for companies, whether they're large companies or small companies. And if you were to look at Europe, for example, there's such a wide range of regulatory environments, distribution channels, and also cultural factors. And I think before the Ceuta Alliance existed, that was a real issue for companies trying to get into, say, somewhere like Europe. And what Ceuta's brought to it is a kind of tried and trusted network that people can tap into.
For me, the main benefits of the Ceuta conference is introducing me to the Alliance and the opportunity to do business outside of the United States. So the conference so far has been great in introducing me to lots of opportunities. I see the outsourcing area in the market growing incredibly, especially for a company like us that really has its core competencies in manufacturing and understanding the U.S. market. Outside the United States is truly a major benefit for us.
What I found great so far is the very interesting presentations from some of the key delegates, as well as also the opportunity to interact with other distributors and to see some very interesting product and market opportunities for the future. I see outsourcing becoming an increasingly more important trend, particularly in the developing world. As resources are constrained in some of the economies like Europe and the United States, companies look further afield to markets like Asia, the Middle East, Africa. DKSH, I think, is ideally positioned to help people within the Ceuta Alliance, and we look forward to continuing our strong and collaborative relationship.
Our growth and success has been based on new products, innovation that we can bring to the market, in which Ceuta has been a big part of it, and quality of service. We have definitely improved on the quality of service, and that's been a key issue in our success.
From my perspective, I feel it's a breakthrough in the communication. Like imagine today, for example, in this conference we are dealing with like more than 100 countries. I have seen distributors from everywhere. We can share our experience with some brand, for example. So it's really something very good.
I have to say that it's exceeded all my expectations. I think the atmosphere between the delegates and Ceuta itself is very, very commendable. Everybody's very relaxed, they're willing to talk, they're willing to discuss, and they're willing to build relationships. And after all, that's why we're here. We want to build relationships with like-minded people.
What are the benefits for our company coming to the Ceuta Alliance? I think, well, if you think of the saying, knowledge is power, I think that the knowledge that we gain from this conference is wonderful. The networking, the opportunities that are presented for us are outstanding. The speakers are great. Allows us to become informed about what is the future for us in our industry. In terms of the outsourcing, I think with the cost to serve today in most markets, and that's including Australasia, it's very important to keep in mind what we can bring to other brand owners in terms of what our offering can be. So I think that we're terribly excited by the information that we're gaining from the Alliance conference today and tomorrow, and we look forward also for the opportunities through the Alliance for the new product offerings and what we can do in our market to best serve those brand owners.